What's going on, YouTube? It is Trev. Hopefully you don't hear this fan blaring in the background, but it's very hot in this room. Anyway, all right. So I want to talk to you about some serious stuff, and I really hope that you watch throughout this video and listen to everything that I have to say, because I think it's important. It's important for you to understand these concepts. No matter what you're trading or what you're doing in kind of the crypto world. Maybe in life in some ways, but anyway. All right, so, very often you guys have heard me say, I do not care about subscribers, how many subscribers I have. I don't really care about building my channel, making it huge. I tell you very often at the end of my videos, if you want to subscribe, subscribe. If you don't want to subscribe, don't subscribe, right? Subscribing for me, basically, that's something that helps the algorithm. And so if I make a video that I think a lot of people really could benefit from kind of the information in whatever way, subscribing is a way to actually tell the algorithm, not only did I like this video, but I want to hear more from this guy. And so YouTube pushes the video out. So that's really, for me, that's the only reason that I like to see more subscribers. I have said repetitively, I will never make my my living doing YouTube. I'm not trying to grow my channel to tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of subscribers so that I can just make YouTube videos and get paid to do that. I mean, that would be awesome, right? But it's just not reality for me, and I don't really know if I could ever do that or want to do that. Right now, I have no desire to do that. So that's the only reason why I say go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you want to subscribe. But if you don't want to subscribe, I don't care. And the reason I don't care is because I have some fundamental understandings about the information and the content that I provide, and what I actually bring to this space. And what I bring to this space is really not what most people are looking for. That's not to say that the information that I'm bringing isn't good and legitimate information that everybody should have. It's that it's not the information that you're looking for. It's not the information that you want. Okay? And we've talked about this before, but I just wanted to make this kind of standalone video about this because I've gotten some messages and seen some things that distress me a little bit. So, I want to say that I don't think that you should listen to everything I say. I don't think that you should listen to everything anybody else out there says, and make any decisions based on those things. I'll tell you, I've gotten a couple of messages. I've been tagged either on Twitter or I've even got DMs or whatever, which are messages that on one hand are very flattering. They're praise, and that's what they're meant to be, and I get that and I appreciate it. But on the other hand, they scare the bejesus out of me, because the messages are essentially, hey, listen, I got involved in this particular project because you're involved in it. And, I trust you. Or you and somebody else are involved in this project, and if you guys are involved in it, then I'm involved in it too, right? Guys, not to be rude, you don't know me. I don't know you. There is this thing where me and some other guys, we get on and we do a bunch of videos, and you see us all the time. You really get to know kind of a little bit, you think of our character and who we are, and so you make judgments. And you substitute that. This is the dangerous part. You substitute that for doing your own due diligence, educating yourself on a project or on a crypto or whatever before you actually spend your money on it. You have this familiarity with us where you think you know us well enough that, oh, Trev would never do that. Oh, Happy Caddy would never do that. Oh, Bleaves would never do that. Whatever name you want to throw in there. I'm just throwing these names in because they're recent videos I've watched, right? But you get that familiarity and you think that now you can go ahead and trade according to the way we're trading, or get involved in the things that we're getting involved in. It should never, ever, ever work that way. And I'm probably one of the only, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn. There's a reason for saying this. I'm probably one of the only guys who do YouTube videos, or guys who are on Twitter all the time, who will actually not only tell you this in the fine print, right? This isn't financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. But who will actually make a video to drive this point home to you. I haven't seen anybody else do it, and it's unfortunate. I kind of wish they would. But the difference between someone who is not trying to grow their channel, who is not trying to make their living doing this, and someone who is a video like this. And the 2,500 or so, 2,600, whatever it is, subscribers that I have, they're people who want this kind of honesty. And I see other people with 10 times that amount, 100 times that amount of followers. What that tells me is that there is that many more, assuming those are real followers and not paid for, because sometimes that happens, but it tells me that there are that many more people who are more interested in confirmation bias, in being told everything's going to be okay, in being told just hold and wait for this or wait for that, this catalyst, that catalyst, this thing is going to launch, it's going to go crazy. Is as pleasing as it is to very lovingly have that smoke blown up your ass, it's not reality. All right? Understand, please understand that when you hear that, nobody has a crystal ball. Very often people are basically sometimes trying to pump their own bags, right? Sometimes you'll see somebody say something negative about something, and very often that's because they're trying to bring the price down so they can get more. Very often, more often than you would think, the people that you trust, the people that you think you know, very often they're manipulating you. And intentionally sometimes not intentionally, but it happens. It happens, right? And so a lot of you tend to go toward that because you want to hear that everything's going to be okay. You want to hear that you invested your $100, your $1,000, whatever, and you could potentially be a millionaire out of this. I am the one who will come and tell you that's probably not going to happen. How can I say that? Well, I mean, just really look around. Open your eyes and look around. If you told me that you invested in the lottery and you played the lottery, whatever the lottery is in your country, 2 or 3 times a week, every week, right? And you feel like the more you play it, as long as you play it, you have the chance of winning that $10 million jackpot or that $100 million jackpot. I will look you in the eye and confidently tell you it's not going to happen. Does it happen? Yeah, people do win. Do people actually invest $100 or $1,000 or sometimes less than that in crypto and all of a sudden see that have $1 million in their wallet? Yes, it happens. The rarity of it is something that most people don't want to talk to you about. It's very, very rare. The reason that I can look somebody who tells me that they play the lottery 2 or 3 times a week in the eye and tell them you're never going to win that is because 999,999 times out of 1,000,000, I'm going to be right. Those are your chances, okay? With crypto, I mean, I don't know that anybody's ever put together what the chances are, but the chances are very, very slim that that's actually going to happen to you. And so, there's a bunch of things, a bunch of realisms that I kind of want to get out to you, and that's maybe one of them right there, all right? Stop chasing this life-changing $1 million, you're going to be a millionaire, you're going to buy your Lambo, I can say this until I'm blue in the face, and I know it's probably not going to get through to the majority of you, but when I created my channel, it wasn't to grow it, it wasn't to make money, it was to be the voice in the ocean of other voices who are telling you, you can do it, it's going to happen, to be the voice of reality. and tell you it's probably not going to happen. Because if you understand that, then you will take profits. Then you will maybe do more swing trading. Maybe you will alter your trading pattern so that you can win more than you lose. Because right now, if all you're doing is taking that shot for that, $500,000 $1 jackpot, you're probably losing an awful lot along the way. Stop doing it. Stop doing it. And if it happens, do you believe in kismet? Do you believe in if it's meant to be kind of thing? Do you believe in that? If you do, then you understand if it's meant to happen to you, it's going to happen to you. And it's going to happen when you're probably not even thinking about it, right? But if you keep chasing it, you're going to keep losing. Now, look at your wallet. Look at your experience with crypto over the last year or two. And if you can say to yourself or say to me, no, Trev, my trading MO has basically made me thousands or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars. I know what I'm doing. Then you can just stop the video right here. You don't need to watch this. But if you're one of, I suspect, many who actually can't tell that story yet, then maybe you need to change your narrative. And you need to think about things a little differently, okay? Something goes up and you're up 5x, or you're up 5%, you're up 10%, right? That might be good. There's always going to be another play. There's always going to be another opportunity to jump into something. There's always going to be a dip, right? So take your profits, do those kind of things. Stop listening to anybody who is telling you just hold. It's going to go here. It's going to go there. They're probably not looking out for your best interest. Or they probably have way more money than you. And they can afford to trade that way. These are the things you need to actually really, really be careful of. Also, and I kind of touched on it, but we'll get into it a little deeper. As far as trusting everybody online, people online, I'm not necessarily just talking about people like me who, again, have some sort of presence on Twitter or X or do YouTube videos or whatever. I'm talking about people who actually make these projects, the developers, the characters and the personalities that that are leading these cryptocurrency, not only tokens and coins, but these protocols, this L2 stuff, all these things, right? You feel like you get to know them because you hear from them so much. And they might even have a track record of, being there, okay? And it is a decent way maybe of understanding who you might be able to trust and who maybe you can't trust, right? In crypto, it's almost all we have because there is no regulation. There is no rule that says you have to know exactly who these people are, their real names, where they live, their phone numbers, their address, their, where they work. There's no rule that says you have to know that stuff. And so we've learned in crypto to make judgments on people with limited information about them. That's become the norm for us. And so business is conducted with people that you've never actually shook hands with, people that you've never actually met, maybe people who you don't even know what their real name is. This has become the norm. All I'm saying to you is that you have to be careful. When people tell you don't invest more than you can afford to lose, that is a dead serious suggestion, okay? You really, really need, that should be first and foremost in any trading that you do, because you don't actually know anybody. You don't know any of us, right? I'll tell you a quick story about someone who I have gotten to know in crypto, even worked with to a certain degree, to a small degree, and I can tell you that I don't know everything about this person. I don't know their real name. I don't know where they're from. I don't have their phone number. None of these things, right? But I can say that I know them as much as you can say you know someone in crypto. And from what I understand, before I knew this person, This person was involved with a team who was putting together a cryptocurrency project. He was on the team. And this person came up to some very unfortunate circumstances in their life. They needed money. This person had access to a lot of funds, team funds. And this person took those funds and disappeared. We all have those situations in our lives that come out of absolutely nowhere, and it's like, holy shit, what do I do? Well, this person had a way to kind of help that situation, and even though was someone who was on a team, someone who had previously been trusted, absconded with the team funds and disappeared. Nobody could reach this person. They were gone. This particular story is a rarity because after a period of time, this person came back. Not only came back, but came back with all the money that they had taken, returned it to the team, and made amends. Apologized, explained what happened. You know, I don't want to say, you know, a happy ending. It should have never happened, but as happy an ending as you can possibly have in these kind of situations, which happen very, very often. People rug. You have a 2-3 member team, and all of a sudden somebody just takes off with the money, they're gone, and you never hear from them again. Even the other team, rest of the team, can't find them. That's what happens 99.99% of the time. This particular time, the person came back. This wasn't a bad person. This was a person who was faced with a really horrible situation in their life, had an opportunity and a way to kind of help get out of it, and took it, right? Any one of us could think about that situation and say, I don't care what it was, I would never do that. But until you're actually in that situation, and you don't know how bad it could actually be, right? Is a loved one, you know, in trouble? Is there a medical thing? Is it, you know, is it a child? Is it a parent? Is it, you never know, right? And you're in that situation where all of a sudden you have access to an awful lot of money. And if you ask, nobody's going to give it to you. They feel bad for you, but they're not going to give it to you. And so you take it, right? Until you're in that situation, none of us actually can say what we would do. It was great that this person came back with the money, but that doesn't always happen. So, hold on a second. Sorry. I would edit that out if I ever did any editing, but I never edit my videos. Somebody came in and I didn't want to make too much noise. Anyway, yeah, so what I'm saying to you is that situation could happen to anybody. I'm not talking about the person who had a bad situation. I'm saying being invested in something and trusting in people that you think you know as well as you can know them online, and all of a sudden they make another decision that kind of changes everything for you. Maybe takes your money, maybe whatever. It can happen. It can happen. People like me, and you know, most of the people that watch my video are involved in like LUNC or things like that. It could happen to me. It could happen to, you know, Happy Caddy. It could happen to, you know, so many people that I can mention that you guys are familiar with. You think that you know us really, really well because we've done nothing but try to help. But you don't know anybody fully. And so you should always take everything that is said to you with a grain of salt. You should take every situation seriously when you're investing, as if you're gambling and have a very good chance of losing your money, right? Don't invest more than you can afford to invest or afford to lose, because you never, ever, ever know when that is going to happen to you. I hate being, I kind of hate being the one that kind of does that, who kind of says these kind of things to you, but at the same time, I can't do it any other way. Crypto is a fantasy world. It really is. We have these big dreams of big gains and life-changing money because we hear those stories and we just, why can't it be us? It should be us. It could be us. We're invested in the right things with the right people and the right team and trustworthy, right? You can only trust everybody that you meet online only so much. You only know us only so much. You need to always keep this in mind. And so when you're invested in this fantasy world and in this fantasy project or whatever, it's very, very easy to get caught up and think that you absolutely know what you're doing, you're safe and everything else, but you're never 100% safe. Never should you 100% trust any of us, including me, right? Now, I might know what my intentions are when I make these videos and when I give you guys information. The information that I give to you is absolutely never for you to trade on. It's never for you to trust 100%. When I give you my opinions, when I bring you information, whatever it is for you to implement into your trading strategy, implement into whatever other due diligence you have done. Take the information, mix it around in your brain, figure out what it is that you want to do, right? Don't ever trade according to what I say, according to what anybody else says. Don't ever trade because you think that you can believe in us or you think that you can trust us. Take the information, use your own brain, and figure out what it is that you want to do. If you want to take the gamble and you can afford to, go right ahead. You're not going to win if you don't try. But just be careful. That's all I'm saying. And I hope that you will listen to me. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Ciao.